It is now an honor for me to introduce our second speaker of the afternoon, U.S. Representative Paul Ryan. Born and raised in the community of Janesville, Wisconsin, Paul Ryan is a fifth-generation Wisconsin native. Some Wisconsin fans back there. He is currently serving his sixth term as a member of Congress for the first congressional district in Wisconsin. He is the ranking member of the House Budget Committee and a senior member of the House Ways and Means Committee. Congressman Ryan is also a proud graduate of Miami, having earned a degree in economics and political science from here in 1992. Congressman Ryan's service and dedication to the nation have established him as one of the rising stars in Congress today. And in typical political fashion, speaking with him beforehand, I know he relishes the opportunity to go after his counterpart from across the aisle. Class of 2009, please join me in welcoming a graduate from the class of 1992, Congressman and fellow Miamian, Paul Ryan.
Thanks, Mike. Well done, man. Appreciate it. Thank you, Mike. I can see your president here is leaving with good approval ratings. Nice going. President Hodge, and you get the joke, right? President Hodge, graduating students, I congratulate all of you on receiving your degrees. It's a tremendous achievement, and we know you have worked hard to get here. I also want to congratulate you parents. You get to stop receiving the tuition bills, so congratulations. Speaking seriously, you have made an extraordinary sacrifice to prepare these graduates to make their character on the future of this country, whether through career, family, or other forms of service. I also must offer my congratulations to my fellow alumni who are being honored for having distinguished themselves in serving our country. General Brooks, Judge Holshoe, General Coper, Admiral Lippert, and my good friend Mike Oxley. Your lifetimes of service exemplify Miami's 200-year tradition of influence on this nation. You have paid back Miami's educational investment in you many times over. Now, I too have read the Miami Student editorial about this commencement, headlined, "Bicentennial Class Deserves More Prominent Speakers." You know what? I agree. Why, this new fellow, Steve Driehaus, he's only been in Congress for 126 days. Hey, but at least Steve is an alumnus. You might have settled for somebody who didn't even attend Miami and has held office for an even shorter period of time, like President Obama or somebody. So it's an honor to be back here at Miami. I remember my own transformative experience here quite well. I came to Oxford after a very difficult high school experience where I lost my father. I helped take care of my family, and I really had to grow up fast at that time. It is here at Miami where I was able to find myself. I found a sense of direction and a sense of identity. The incredible people that shaped me here, friends, faculty, mentors, they have left an indelible mark that I'll forever be grateful for. It was here where I fell in love with economics and public policy. And 6 years after graduating, I got elected to Congress. That was 10 years ago, but it seems like yesterday. Graduates, you will be amazed at how fast time passes. It is here at Miami where friends and professors alike challenge me to stretch my mind and think critically of the world we live in. One person that comes to mind is Professor Rich Hart. Dr. Hart's a professor who took interest in this student who wished to learn. He provided much more than just an education in economics. He provided a vision quest in my mind to improve the economics of our nation. It was that personal and close proximity to my professors that made Miami so special to me. One of the best habits that I've learned is to ask those that are older and wiser than me what they know now that they wish they knew when they were my age. So now, I want to offer you a few thoughts of my own and perhaps provoke some thought among you. Don't settle for mediocrity and embrace the truth. even when it's inconvenient. Not your definition of the truth or mine, but the truth. Knowing the truth is certainly not easy. In fact, it's a lifelong search, a journey you've begun to travel here at Miami. Some of you will go on to the graduate level programs, while others will enter the world of commerce and work. As we are well aware today, our business and employment supporting economy is shrinking. Entrepreneurial opportunities are low, and real jobs are scarce today. As if our economic decline were a problem enough, we are bombarded with warnings that America's greatest days are behind us, that we've run our course, and it's time to accept the fact that our best days are over. Today, there's a pervasive gloom that overshadows our thinking across the board. It penetrates our media, our entertainment, our pleasures, our politics, and our schools. What's worse is a kind of deadly conformism that fears to challenge the gloomy pieties of the age. About a half a century ago, another conformism dominated. It was an age of rigid managerial bureaucracies, where most people focused solely on moving up the business ladder. The corporate conformism of that age measured everything in shades of gray, took no risks, and discouraged any imagination or thought that did not follow the organization norm. Young people can't tolerate rigid conformism and pointless rules for long. Students revolted against this narrowness and led campus rebellions against the corporate conformity of the 1960s. I'm not going to judge the 1960s, but I wonder whether we haven't somersaulted back to a more subtle conformism, rooted in the rebellion that overthrew the old one. The old conformists wore uptight gray flannel suits, and they would be horrified at the concept of jeans in the office. Today, the very reverse. The ideal family of the old conformism was the traditional family structure. The rebellion of the 60s demanded freedom for every style of life. So the only scandal to the new conformism is to privilege the traditional married family. In the days of the old conformism, children using naughty words only had their mouth washed out with soap. Today's students, faculties, and administrators in many academic institutions must learn which words or phrases can never be spoken, or might even sound like a word that can be spoken, for fear of being ostracized. We have moved from a world of accepted rights and wrongs to a relativist world where everything is okay but for accepted rights and wrongs. Yet everywhere we look, we sadly see people in the public and the private sector cutting corners, looking for the easy way out, scoring a quick profit, seeking personal power at any price, or doing whatever feels good rather than serving as a force for good. Let me ask an odd question. Why do we complain about this? We complain because everyone knows innately that there are standards of right and wrong that we are all expected to follow. These standards are not just feelings. They are not set down by man or by government. They are transcendent standards that apply for all times in all places. The conformism of our time is relativism. Destroy these timeless standards, and you destroy our highest hopes and aspirations. How can young people tolerate this stifling conformism? If we only had to endure it for 4 years, it might be tolerable. But I'm afraid it's just beginning. In Washington, at the center of the American political order, there is nothing more correct, nothing more necessary than to conform to the pessimistic view that America has lost its primacy in the world, and we're going to have to live with decline at home and abroad. We're supposed to adjust to shrunken dreams and manage the stagnation by controlling more and more sectors of what was once a free society. Free society turned out to be a failure, some say. It allowed unlimited greed to bring our economy down. Now government, moderate, selfless, unambitious government, must step in to direct producers, investors, homebuyers, and entrepreneurs to drive greed from the 21st century. Government also has taken a lead in creating jobs. If you ask how government can create a job without paying for it by taking the money from jobs and workers in the private sector, the new conformists might label you uncompassionate or worse. The best we can hope for, they say, is to survive this. My friends, America is not a nation of survivors. America is a nation of dreamers, of innovators. We are a nation of winners. Don't settle for survival strategies and the conformism of the right or the left. The conformism of the giant corporation and the new conformism of the government bureaucrat are practically the same thing. Erecting more hurdles on entrepreneurship, work, savings, and capital, and blinding the vision of risk takers with a wall of directives is Washington's analog to campus conformism. All the problems we have talked about that are in front of us today can be addressed and can be solved, but only through imagination, passion, and the ambition to succeed. Don't be afraid to break out of deadly conformity. The order of human liberty is one. It requires economic freedom just as much as political and social freedom. Don't be afraid to claim your stake to freedom. You should demand liberty because you need it to fulfill your God-given potential. Consider the truths that were once called self-evident in our Declaration of Independence, that all human beings have natural rights to live, be free, and pursue happiness. Every one of you has an inalienable right to follow the highest goal of your life, which is your greatest potential. It includes the right to keep the earnings of your work in any good career, as a teacher, an artist, a financier, a union organizer, or even a public servant. The right to excel belongs to every person by the laws of nature and of nature's God. These rights did not come from government, and no government has the authority to take them away from you. In closing, being everything your nature intended you to be depends on nothing but yourself, your intelligence, courage, imagination, passions, and gifts. Every man and woman in this stadium and across the country is the ultimate resource for growth and happiness. Never settle for the counsels of mediocrity. Trends and pieties come and go, but the example of excellence in any endeavor is nonconforming and enduring. If each of you strives to fulfill all the potential you have, I am more than confident that nothing can prevent America from continuing in its place as the model of human freedom that can still inspire the world. That is all I have to say. Thank you and congratulations.